Hey folks, Good Guy Glenn here, and today is Sunday, January 28th, 2024. I just did my 34-hour reset here in Ohio at the Loves. I'm in Lockbourne, Ohio, pretty much Columbus. Today we're picking up from Abbott Foods and we're delivering down to Food Lion in North Carolina. It's gonna be good to be back on the road. We've had nothing but rain here in Ohio. And after the last disaster I encountered in Ohio with the blizzard, I'm just like eager to get out of here. Yeah, I did my reset finally. Haven't had one since New Year's. I was getting tired of running day to day, picking up 4 hours here, 7 hours there. It was quite annoying. As was having to do a reset here in Ohio at this Love's. I've been to this Love's several times. I had Love's Deja Vu here. You know, it's truck stop Deja Vu, actually, where you pull in at night, you just get a spot, you're happy, you go to the bathroom, you go to sleep, and the next day when you get up, if you go to take a shower or whatever, you realize, I've been at this truck stop before. And I have. Every time I'm in this area, this is where I come to weigh. I've never stayed here before, but I stayed here the last couple of days, and I'm ready to get the heck out of Dodge. It's 07:15. I was up earlier, but it started to pour so bad when I was gonna go to the bathroom, brush my teeth, grab my morning coffee, and it was raining so hard. I just decided to stay in the truck until around 7. I went and got my coffee. As a lot of you know, Love's coffee is terrible, but I found out a little something about Love's coffee. If you use the machine instead of the coffee that's in the carafes, if you use the machine that grinds it and puts it in your cup right in front of you and get the Brazilian, it's decent. It's not as bad as the regular Love's coffee, which is just dishwater. But anyway, we've been sitting for days now. I needed the reset, but I also need to get the hell out of Ohio. So we're gonna get on the road, see what's going on, see if they'll take us early. It's an Abbott load, so it's preloaded. I'm just gonna have to hook it and should be good to go. All right. Thank you, Loves.
0.1 mile ahead, turn right on Love Creek Drive. Turn left on Roar Road.
Oh my God, can I remember how to drive a truck today? Ugh,
0.2 miles ahead, turn right on Love Creek Drive.
Well, picked up here at Abbott in Columbus, Ohio, and it was sketchy driving through downtown Columbus. Really a pretty city though. So now we're going to go off and weigh this thing. It's heavy. So off we go. That's something you don't see every day. Right out of Abbott, 31,200. 31,600. Not too shabby. Heavy load going down to Carolina. I'm excited to get out of the Northeast again. Stopped by this marathon to weigh, and we are going to head to Nitro, West Virginia. I hate that truck stop, but that's where our fuel solution is. So we're gonna fuel up, and then we're gonna be on our way. I don't know how I'm gonna run this clock. I have a terrible fear that it's gonna take me off the highway and I'm gonna wind up not having a good place to bed down. So with that being said, I guess we're just gonna see how it goes. We're gonna go for it. The weather is terrible up here in Columbus, terrible. But maybe some of this rain will wash the mud off my truck. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother time. Stay tuned for the end of the video and I'll tell you the mud story. But you gotta stay tuned to the end of the video, or you don't hear the mud story. The mud story's good. Old good guy Glenn really screwed things up this time. You know, in the past, I always enjoyed driving through Ohio. I never really had a problem with it until the polar vortex and I hit that lake effect snow. And that really, I really was unhappy during that trip. Trying to get those videos together so I could get them online. I don't know when I'm gonna have Wi-Fi again to upload them, but they're really good. But like, even now, we're getting this rain, you know, because we're near the Great Lakes. And we're heading south on 23, heading over to 35 to go to West Virginia. And it's all right, you know. I'll tell you one thing. This rain will wash the mud off the truck. Yeah, you're gonna want to hear that story, but you have to wait to the end to hear that story. I ain't telling the mud story till the end. You don't know. Like, I might say it at the very end, or I might toward the end. You never know when I'm going to tell the mud story. I could tell it in 2 minutes. But I got the mud story. Stopped at the Ohio rest stop. I think this is like one of the last rest stops left before we're in West Virginia. Just boogieing along. We should be at our fuel solution at noon. We're about 50 miles away from Nitro, West Virginia. And we're gonna fuel up there. And then we're gonna push on to North Carolina. Probably take my 30-minute at Nitro. And I'm gonna go to Food Lion tonight, even though I know from the past that they won't take me early at Food Lion, but they do have a detention lot there, and I think I'll stay in the detention lot because as much as I'd rather be at a truck stop, you know, I've spent enough money and ate enough crap on my reset that, like, I think I should just eat some cup of soup and drink some water. And yeah, we're moving right along. So next stop is Nitro, West Virginia. is a great state because it's just flat. It gets a little bit tricky when you get towards Pennsylvania and West Virginia, but it's really not as bad as Pennsylvania and West Virginia as far as the mountains. I do enjoy when the weather is good driving through Ohio. Yeah, we're rolling and we're heavy today, boy. Rolling heavy in the rain is actually beneficial. If you're empty, driving in the rain is terrible. Terribly
2
shady.
miles. Keep left onto US 35 toward Jackson. Keep left on US 35 East.
There's some word that there's going to be another polar vortex in the middle of February. Just like unhappy about that. But it is what it is. This last polar vortex really caused a lot of problems for truckers. There was a lot of wrecks. Just way too scary, honestly. What are you gonna do? You know? You just gotta pull over when the weather's bad.
1 mile ahead. Keep left on US 35 East.
Just pull over when the weather is bad and sit tight until the weather gets a little bit better. I don't think I would do what I did the other day, where at 4 o'clock in the morning I left because it was clear where I was at, but I only drove right back into the blizzard.
Keep left onto US 35 toward Jackson.
And only one lane on 80 was really passable, and it was shady with black ice, and I just saw wrecks left and right.
1 miles ahead. Keep left on US 35 East.
It's just not worth it. Just pull over.
Keep left on US 35 East.
I've never recorded Silver Bridge going in the opposite direction, back towards Point Pleasant. So let's hope the Mothman doesn't get us.
Crossing border. Entering West Virginia.
Oh, man, that was close. Mothman could have got us, but he didn't. take our 30-minute here. This is a rough pilot. Look at this guy. Like, what's this move right here? Blocking the fuel lane. We'll just park behind Western Express. These things are really good. They're tasty. They're not terrible for you. And you can get them on sale at Walmart or Kroger. They were 10 for 10. So I picked them up. You know, not too shabby. We'll wait at the fuel island to fuel. Looks like Western Express is taking his break in the fuel island. And usually I'd be pissed off about this, but I'm kind of doing the same thing. He could at least pull up and let me fuel, you know, but whatever. It's Western Express. They don't hire like the smartest out of the group, I'll tell you that much. So yeah, says I got 328 miles left on this to my drop. Should be getting there at 17:17. I mean, you know, they have to add in my 30-minute. So 6 o'clock-ish. And I might try to make that. Like I said, I'll try to stay at the detention lot if they have one. Or I'll get real close and then I'll shut down. It is what it is. You know what I mean? We're just going to run it out. I'm excited because we have a full 70-hour clock. We're going to, like, have a new week. And we're gonna get going. And Western Express is still taking his break in the fuel island. On the phone, in flip-flops, doing some sort of cockamamie pre-trip in the fuel island. He's not pumping fuel, because I looked. Yeah. I knew I could depend on West Virginia to give me screwed up weather, because now it's snowing and I'm just done with this state. I really am. I'm done with West Virginia and their mountains and their dumb snow all the time, and just like, you know, I've said this a million times, this is one beautiful state. West Virginia is beautiful. And it's a great place, I bet, to go visit, and I bet you it's cool to live here. But to drive a tractor trailer, it's terrible driving through West Virginia. It's a terrible place to drive through. I gotta try to survive this snow. I'm not in the mood for this. Whatever.
make a good amount of money Facebooking?
No.
I didn't think so. What kind of views do you got to get before you get one of those plaques?
Oh, I don't know.
One of those awards that you always see. You just gotta have that one video that breaks.
Well, the sign's back there, a little bit creepy and scary, saying high wind advisory, blowover hazard. I'm really heavy, so I'm hoping to be okay. Maybe just have the trailer pull around a little bit. Let's see what this says right here. High profile vehicle blowover hazard, high wind advisory, use caution. Great. Well, I guess that's why they pay us the big bucks. Let's see what happens. Well, we're in North Carolina. We're 130 miles outside the drop, but we can't drop today anyway. So I plotted a course to a pilot that's 90 miles ahead of us, en route allegedly. And hopefully there's a spot for us. We'll be getting there at 17:16. And like I said, hopefully there's a spot for us there. Man, this was quite a ride. It wasn't so bad. It was good to get out of Ohio in the bad weather. I'm sure it washed a bunch of the mud off the truck. Still holding that mud over your head. Yep, so Mount Airy, 50 degrees, looking good. Let's see what happens. So 12 miles to the pilot that I programmed into the GPS. We're 53 miles from the Food Lion we're supposed to drop at. And it's not looking too good for us to have. I just passed by a TA truck stop and it's packed. And this one is only 11 miles from here. That's not looking too good. I'm gonna pull into this rest stop and if this looks safe and there's a spot for us.
Take ramp to Alamance County Rest Area. 0.3 miles ahead. Straight on ramp to I-40 East.
Oh, look at this. Oh, boy. I mean, I kind of wanted Wi-Fi to do some videos, but this looks safe. Oh, and there's spots. Read the rules. Punishable by law. Parking lots, urinals, and toilets. No loitering or soliciting. All right. Change of plans, everybody. We are going to park here for the night. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Well, we made it. We have a safe place to stay tonight. And we're gonna have some Chef Boyardee overstuffed beef ravioli. that's what we're gonna have. And we have some other things we could have as dessert, if we so choose. I mean, you know, it's not the best, but it'll do, right? Cold ravioli. This is like a deployment in the Marine Corps. I promised you I would tell you the mud story. I guess it was what's today? Today's Sunday. So it was Friday. I was delivering to Goodyear Tire up in Columbus, Ohio. And I should have known that something was wrong when the one GPS couldn't find the location. Big red flag. But I followed the company GPS, right? What have I told you? Bad idea. So we get up to Columbus, and I gotta tell you, the trip was pretty nice. You know, it took me through some side roads, but wasn't mad about it. The night before, I picked up in a thunderstorm. Then I went to this like weird dirt lot. Yeah. And then I parked. I found this rest area very similar to this, strictly by accident. And it was really nice. And I stayed there. And then I started off in the morning, and then I boogied up there. And then I stopped at my fuel solution in Nitro, West Virginia. And I went up, and everything was looking good. And I was going to deliver ahead of schedule. And the GPS took me to the wrong entrance, the wrong side of the building, off the wrong highway, and it wasn't the truck entrance, and it was the employee-only entrance. And I didn't know that if I just went left instead of right towards Goodyear, I could have skirt between the warehouses and got to the entrance down on the little cul-de-sac down and around the back. But I didn't know because the GPS didn't say anything about it. So I tried to turn around. I cut the wheel, and there's a grass shoulder, right? Well, there was tire tracks in the grass shoulder, so people have been turning around there with trucks. Didn't even think about it, bro. I go to follow suit and just cut the wheel, turn around, turn my trailer around, go back out on that highway, try to figure out how to get to the back of this place to drop this trailer. I sank in like a foot of mud. I'm not kidding you. Up past the fairings, a third of the way up my steer tires. The only saving grace I have to say is I stopped when the tractor sank in the mud that way. Because if I would have, if the trailer would have followed me, the trailer could have sank uneven in that mud and dumped. And it could have pulled the whole tractor over. It could have been really bad. So I'm stuck in the mud. Now, the problem is now the trailer is up on the road. The tractor is down in the mud. And the trailer is so heavy, it's sitting on my drives. But anyway, I've got one picture of it. I didn't video it because it was embarrassing, and I wasn't even gonna tell anyone about it, but I'm telling y'all because I'm being straightforward. Tow truck came, He wrapped a chain around the back of my tractor. I cut the wheel. He pulled my tractor back up. It really wasn't as bad as I thought, because I thought it was bad. I didn't know what was gonna happen. It really wasn't bad. I freaked out over nothing. And then once the tractor straightened out, I pulled down. I had by now been there an hour waiting for the wrecker. So I researched it with satellite view, and I figured out that I could just cut through this other parking lot, which I could have did all along if I had just, I don't know. So what do we learn? Well, number one, you could blame the company GPS, but I'm the one who got stuck in the mud. You should always try to satellite view, Google satellite view, how to get in. But I do that. But this particular place, I think I did it, and I forgot, because I did it early on in the day, or the night before, and things just like went down, and I forgot. I could have realized that it had been raining up in Ohio for 12 straight days, and that soft grassy shoulders are no good. So I learned a lesson. So I've been out here a little while now, but I'm still, it was like really, it taught me a lesson that I'm still a new guy, and that I made a mistake. And I need to exhibit patience and slow down. Don't get so flustered. And take your time. Take your time. If you make a mistake, pull off to the side where you're not blocking anybody. And I know you're not supposed to be there, but take your time. Go over your maps. Make a phone call to receiving if you can get a number, and try to figure out where you're supposed to be. That's what I learned. But in my haste to get this dropped, that's what happened. So then I got it. I dropped the trailer. I picked up an empty, and I wound up at that Love's, where I always wind up weighing all the trailers I pick up from Columbus. I weigh there. It was pouring rain out in the next couple days, because I did my 34-hour reset there, and it washed a lot of the mud off. And then coming down here today, boogieing down, it was raining all through Ohio into West Virginia. It was snowing, so a lot of the mud is gone. So that's the mud story. I've got one picture of the truck stuck in the mud. If I had the editing software and my computer to edit this, I would include it, but I'm not going to include it. There's no need. Just trust me, it wasn't good. It was ridiculous. Maybe in a video down the line, I'll post the photo. But I feel blessed to have found this rest stop. I'm starting to like rest stops better than the truck stops. Not tempted to spend money and buy junk. We found a spot. It's a safe spot. And God is good, man. He looked out for me. I had asked him. I was praying, because I pray while I drive, you know. And I was praying that he would help me find a safe spot to sleep tonight. Because during that polar vortex, there was a couple of nights where I was running late, which I don't like to do. We all know that, but you know, Western sends me out on they send me loads late in the day. I have to pick them up, and I was staying in some shady places. Like today, I went off the company GPS and I followed the Rand McNally, because I was going to the pilot, that the company GPS didn't even know it was a thing. The way it was gonna take me was through small roads, the way that they like to do. And I said, screw that, I'm staying on Interstate 40 through Winston-Salem into Greensboro, and Yeah, so I'm close to Greensboro, man. I was stationed down here when I was in the Marines. I used to party in Greensboro and Chapel Hill, so a little nostalgia there. Remember what I said, and it's pretty much proven today that God's got a plan for you. That if you just ask him for things, you know, he's not going to give you all the time what you want, but he's going to give you what you need. Keep that in mind. And God helps those who help themselves. So I really hope y'all are doing well. You're making your miles and you're staying safe. There's supposedly another polar vortex coming in the next couple of weeks. Just be safe, everybody, okay? God bless you and your family. And if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so when I drop another video, you get a notification. Once again, this is Good Guy Glenn. Thanks for watching.